Hi, I'm Helen from Elemental Tribe. Welcome to this channel where we create peace of mind one heart at a time, discovering and balancing every element of you.
So, I'm Helen from Elemental Tribe, and today I want to talk to you about the inspiration for creating a not-for-profit foundation called Elemental Foundation, which will enable more people to come to the countryside, find space and quiet to relax and rejuvenate. So this whole idea comes from my whole life, really. So I was lucky enough to be born in Devon in the UK on a farm, and we had lovely fields in that they were not too big, not too small. We had hedges, we had trees, we had streams, and as kids we could just go off and wander. I've got two sisters and I'm the eldest, so I'd lead them off on a merry jaunt and we'd go and play with sticks, climb on trees. We'd go and see what's on the hedge of next door. We'd go around farmers' fields and just explore and have fun. And we'd notice the leaves coming out in bud. We'd notice the change in the wildflowers. We'd notice all the sky and the water and the light and all the different things, nature's natural rhythms. And I loved it. And even growing up on a farm, which was quite hard work at times. I milked the cows for a couple of years. And that was morning. Did I do morning and evening? I don't remember. I have to ask my mum. But milking cows and any work on farms is fairly... I'm going to go again. Right. Hello, I'm Helen from Elemental Tribe. So today I wanted to talk to you about the inspiration for the Elemental Foundation. Now, the Elemental Foundation is a new concept where we're co-creating a magic between people and nature. People have lost touch with themselves and with nature and how nature resources us. Nature provides us with food, with shelter, even with the air we breathe, really, that the trees take in carbon dioxide and let back out the oxygen that we need. So we rely on nature. We rely on it for the building blocks of our houses we live in. We rely on it to grow or produce all of the textiles that we use for our clothing. We rely on nature, yet we set ourselves apart from it. And that's not making for a very nice world. And when we blend the two and create harmony between people and nature, then that's where the magic happens. That's when we respect what there is in the world. We nurture the things around us. We take care of what we have and what we own. We buy or acquire because we need it or will enjoy it, not just for having sake. We're all enough just as we are, yet we still think we need to have more things to show to the world that we have achieved, we have success. But really, the actual, real, deep down success that comes from the heart is when you know that you have enough and you are enough. It doesn't actually relate to the size of your house, how new is your car, the holidays you go on. It's about just being. So the inspiration of this and why I want to create a space where people can come and reflect on all I've just said, to reconnect with the land, to understand the necessity for a symbiotic relationship, comes from my whole life from birth till now. And it's probably why I feel that the foundation is my life's purpose. So I was born on a farm in Devon in the UK, just a fairly small dairy farm primarily. And we had lots of lovely fields. And it's back in the 70s when everything was safe and we all just went outside and just were. And that's kind of what I'd like to get back to too. But by the by, let's get back to the original source for your inspiration. So on the farm, Mum and Dad were busy people. They weren't there to entertain us. We didn't have Xboxes or iPads or anything like that. So we went out on the land and we enjoyed ourselves. I say we, because I've got two sisters. I'm the oldest. So we'd go out and play together. And there were another family nearby. And we'd go and perhaps meet up with them. and then come home for lunch, off out again. And we'd just watch the world go by. We'd watch the light change. We'd watch the leaves come out on the trees, watch the rabbits have babies. Yeah, we'd watch the grass grow and the cows go out in the grass and really enjoy those first weeks when they do that. And it was just a really lovely way of just being without much in the way of a care, really. Then as time went on, I began to get ambitions and ideas of what I'd like to be for as a career. And farming didn't really cross my mind because at that time I felt that farming was far too much like hard work and you didn't get any time to actually enjoy the money you might have made and to enjoy the beauty all around you. So I followed plenty of the shoulds. I took things for granted on the farm and I went to university because I should. And I got a job because I should. I got married because I should and because I thought that would make me feel like I belonged much better. I've always been one that's a bit of a black sheep. So I really wanted to belong to a family, to belong to a marriage. And those things didn't work out terribly well. I hopped from job to job, being successful in almost all of them, but always looking for something more, something more. I didn't feel quite complete and quite whole. And even the marriages, they didn't quite work on my third. We're not technically married, but third marriage really now. And in hindsight, I can see where I went wrong, but I'm always looking for more, looking for better. And if people didn't kind of quite stack up or their ways changed from mine, then I moved on. So I struggled somewhat. And then when I met the man I'm with now, something clicked. And he just made me feel like me. I didn't need to be anything else. I didn't need to aspire to anything. He took me exactly as I was. He doesn't care whether my hair looks all nice and neat and a bit of lippy on, or whether I've got dead hair and look like Tintin. He really doesn't care. And that is so lovely. But once I got that real strong sense of belonging and sort of feet firmly rooted in where I was in that relationship, I felt a tug of wanting to be amongst space, a tug of wanting to go back to the countryside, to have that tranquility and that reconnection with nature. I knew that I would feel better as a whole. I knew that my health would improve. Not that there was anything really wrong with it, but I wanted to feel vital and energized again. And that wasn't happening while I lived in suburbia. I'd go to the gym and I'd feel a bit better, but I just didn't have any oomph. So I also really didn't like the peer pressure of living in suburbia. It's like, oh, you haven't got a very new car. It's like, oh, you haven't got the newest telly. Why haven't you got your great big telly on your chimney breast to block out all the lights? Like, because I don't want to. Now, even though I can distance myself quite a lot from the peer pressure, I still felt it. It was still on all the telly programs. It was still on all the clients I had. It was all around me. And I wanted to go back to the countryside. But in those 20, 30 years since I'd left, the house prices in the countryside had rocketed up. And because I'd not persevered in that career thing, and I'd ended up going self-employed and taking a choice of having a nice life and feeling as much freedom as I could, I didn't have a huge shed load of money in the bank. I couldn't afford to go back to Devon. So I had to think differently. And I thought, well, I could go north, could do something else. And then inspiration struck. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go somewhere where the prices are still affordable. And I ended up moving to Spain. That was 7 years ago. And I now live in a lovely farmhouse. I've got close neighbours, but I have space here. It's tranquil. There is hardly any noise other than what is created by nature. We have the wind. We have birds singing. We have the occasional dogs barking and eagles cawing and stuff. But it is so linked to nature here. There's a better community. People are still linked to their surroundings. I know that our environment that we live in has a strong correlation to how we feel. I know that living or spending time somewhere like this, that we are, here it's without pollution. There's very little EMF. There's very little smog or industrial pollution here. There's hardly any traffic. There's no sirens. Back when I lived in UK suburbia, there'd be sirens every 10 minutes, and it just puts you on edge ever so slightly. And here, I've perhaps heard 3 in the 7 years I've been here. I'm so lucky. But I want other people to be able to savour the peace and the quiet, to feel that boost of their well-being. Because I've never felt healthier. I haven't been to the doctor in years, but I don't do that much. I walk a little with the dogs, I go to yoga, and I do a little on a cycle trainer. But there's not much efforting, as I would put it. And I want other people to be able to sample nature, and I want people to be able to appreciate nature and have a part in it. So I'm developing the concept of the foundation, where we take care of nature by keeping things trim, keeping an eye on the habitat for all the different wildlife we have, from the eagles to the rabbits to the foxes to the mountain goats, and the beetles and the dragonflies and everything in between. We look after the trees. If they need pruning, we prune them. If they need weeding, we weed them. If they need companion plants planting, we plant them. If we need to harvest things, we do that with respect. We don't go around snapping off branches to make things easier. We go and pick things neatly. We have respect for nature around us. We still consume things, but with respect, with making conscious choices. We can still buy things brand new. That's really not a problem. But think about it. What is the best way forward? Make conscious choices. So with all of these things in a lovely swirl, that's what I'm making into the foundation. So I'd love other people to come and join me in this. There will be a website, and I've got a document that outlines this. So if I've piqued your interest with this inspiration, then please do drop me a line and I can send you more information.
Thanks for watching this Elemental Tribe video. You might like other videos in the series, so please do click subscribe and the bell icon to be notified when we make new ones. If you'd like to work with me more directly, then please check out the website, which is www.elementaltribe.co.uk, to find out the current offers and programs.